Good evening, friends, wherever you are in the world, and whatever season you may be experiencing. Here I am in central Canada, experiencing the tail end of winter, and heartily looking forward to the advent of spring. Welcome to another Word of Gord. Tonight, middle of February, inspired by today's article and brief interview in the Globe and Mail with Raj Patel, a name I think many of you will recognize. I felt it would be fun to have a little update on the previous Raj Patel Maitreya Benjamin Creme video, which has attracted quite a bit of attention over the months. And it was quite fun to see that Raj Patel had been in Toronto, my hometown, and speaking to a group of professionals about his economic concerns. Let me just get that right for you. The Human Resources Professionals Association, which was hosting a conference. And, you know, Raj Patel's social and economic concerns. And he would speak in an inspired way to them. And according to the author of this article, one Tavia Grant, people were inspired. People even twittered and tweeted each other while they were at the conference, which I guess is nothing new now. How many thousands of tweets did we get out of the situation in Egypt? Tweets are like gossip now, and maybe that's not such a good thing after all, but life changes, things move on, developments are continuous. Now, Raj Patel is still denying that he's the Maitreya or any kind of Messiah figure at all. Although he does admit that he shares certain ideas that Maitreya has communicated through Benjamin Creme and the other members of the international group Share International. Maitreya is long known for his championing of cooperation over competition, sharing based on social justice. And these are some of the ideals he wishes to see rampant in the world before he makes what Benjamin Creme has termed his reappearance. Now, I have suggested in my previous video that it is possible that Maitreya may make his reappearance simultaneously or almost simultaneously through many disciples. Disciples either conscious or unconscious. I suspect Raj Patel is rather unconscious of his discipleship, sharing as he does only the ideas and not the devotion that someone like Benjamin Creme and other Share International people would espouse. But the possibility of a number of disciples, conscious or unconscious, becoming prominent in the world either through entertainment, the arts, diplomacy, is and could be quite startling. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it has happened. I'm saying it's possible. Now let me just quote here from the article, and we'll get some interesting words from Raj Patel here. Mr. Patel responded to the Messiah questions with a blog post titled "Call Me Brian" last year, which had the effect of egging them on. That would be the Share International disciples, I guess. And it was the famous scene from Monty Python's Life of Brian, where he shouts at the followers that he's not a Messiah and not to follow him, and they repeat his words to him, rather sheep-like. Quote, "As it happens, I do think that sharing, fraternity, justice, and cooperation are terrific things. I also think that prioritizing the needs of the poor, hungry, and oppressed is a non-negotiable part of a sustainable future." He is not the Messiah, he says, before quoting the Monty Python scene in which a man is mistaken for Jesus. "I'm just a very naughty boy." Now that quote there, for me, encapsulates what I'm trying to say here. Raj Patel is embodying, whether he likes it or not, a goodly number of the ideas that Maitreya has been promoting through various channeled messages, some channeled quite some time before Benjamin Graham, I might add, and also some channeled through him. And it's this sense of an ongoing project that I get out of it all. It's a long-term unfolding, shall we say. And although some, like Benjamin Graham, have a strong feeling that he'll appear any moment now, I think he could be mistaken. I'm not saying he's wrong, I'm saying he could be mistaken. And I did find some interesting words on this theme generally in one of Benjamin Graham's books. The Art of Cooperation, 2002. Everything worthwhile, long-lasting, needs patience. People who have been working for the reappearance for years are beginning to lose patience. No matter the growing evidence on a daily basis that Maitreya is here, no matter what experiences they have had with Maitreya or the Master Jesus, no matter how many times they have had insights and drawn their conclusions, they have become impatient after all these years. It is a long time for people to sustain their hope. Unfortunately for many people, especially with a sixth ray makeup, it is hope, aspiration of an emotional kind, and not the total inner certainty of the intuition which drives them to work for the reappearance. Our work is like the drop of water, dropping on the stone until gradually the stone is worn away and the hole is made. Now I find that to be a very useful quote, especially the words, "For many people, it is hope, aspiration of an emotional kind, and not the total inner certainty of the intuition, which drives them to work for the reappearance." Hope and aspiration are children of the astral body, the emotions. They often will turn through impatience to despair, souring, and gloom. But if one works inwardly towards the type of spiritual growth which raises the vibration from the astral body through the mental body and into the intuitional or the Buddhic body, one comes to know without doubt. That knowing without doubt is not dependent on the appearance of time or the glamour of certain circumstances. I know I've spoken of this in other videos. I won't go into it in detail here, but I believe that is the important point for you, for us all to keep in mind. Move your personal vibration upwards from the excitements and devotions of the astral body, of the emotional nature. Move them up through the higher vibration of the mental body, where they will become calmer, more serene, more understanding, but still operating in a sort of intellectual, analytical basis. Move them beyond that to the inner knowing of the intuitional, or the sometimes called Buddhic body. You know that nice little smile on the face of the Buddha? That's knowing. Knowing in the Buddhic body. So whether Maitreya comes as a discrete, unique figure that will be presented somehow before the world through major media, one seems to expect, given the way things are these days, or whether he comes through many inspired disciples, whether they are conscious of their discipleship or unconscious, doesn't ultimately matter. The Maitreya consciousness has arrived, has been here for quite some time, and will continue to disseminate around the world. Here's a message from Maitreya from several years ago called On Inspiring Others. Every student can and should be a teacher from time to time. The subtleties of the psyche and the mysteries of existence entwine to produce a seemingly endless series of enigmas and paradoxes. And as souls awaken themselves from the sleep of unquestioning conformity, their self-inflicted limitations and the old blockages slip free from their moorings, transforming themselves into ever more complex challenges and hurdles, their elemental nature being loath to disperse and lose its grip on a more identified existence. And as such, they need courageous and sympathetic colleagues attuned to such mobile disturbances, who can easily step in and assist. Ponder on this as you strive to realize your abilities in assistance. For although the above description is something of an enigma in itself, it is one for which you have the key. That the existence of divinity is inevitable but not unreachable, most of you know. That it is a mansion with many doors, you also correctly suspect. But that each of you has the keys to all the locks is perhaps a surprise. Each of the masters have, in their own journeys, discovered and used those keys. It is our wish that each of you also discover that cache and use it to gain access to all that appears out of reach. For, as you know in theory but have yet to fully put into practice, each and every goal is within your grasp, no matter how strenuous the process of reaching may be. Be of good cheer as you chart and transit such challenging waters, and know that the voyage once begun can only be completed. Thank you, friends.